Penguin Pandemonium, The Rescue by Jeanne Willis. Read by Penny Macdonald. Chapter 1. Bad Chicks. It was perfect weather for penguins. It had snowed heavily in the night, and the penguin enclosure at City Zoo looked just like the Arctic. The wooden huts where they slept glittered under a frosty duvet like a row of mini igloos, and there were icicles hanging off the palace where Big Paulie the emperor penguin lived. It was so cold the penguin pool had frozen, and to Rory the rockhopper's delight, the ice was thick enough to stand on. He tested it carefully with one foot, then both feet. It seemed perfectly safe, but the two bears who were watching him had their doubts.
"You're skating on thin ice, matey,"
shouted Orson. "Don't come crying to us when it cracks and you freeze your butt," added Ursie. Rory looked up at them, but instead of the two brown bears that normally lived in the paddock, there appeared to be two polar bears.
"Dang! I hate the way the flakes stick to my fur when I make a snow angel,"
said Orson, brushing himself down and revealing his true colours. "Some angel," grunted Ursie. "You're the night bear before Christmas." Just then, Blue, the little fairy penguin, came skidding over. "Hey, Rory, what are you waiting for?" she laughed, grabbing his flipper and dragging him onto the ice. "I can't remember the last time the pool froze." "Nor can I," said Rory, spinning her round. "It must have been when we were eggs." "It was way before that," said Ursie. "It was in 2008 on a Tuesday. I remember it well because a tubby old emperor penguin didn't realise it was thawing and fell through in a very comical manner."
"That was Alaska Cadabra," said Orson. "He had to be rescued by that boss of yours."
"Yeah, Big Paulie," chortled Ursie. "I've never seen anything so funny in all my life."
"Hey, who are you calling funny?"
barked a gruff voice from the edge of the pool.
"Show some respect, or I'll have my good friend Mr. Tiger turn you into a rug."
It was Paulie. He looked even bigger and even more fierce than usual to Rory. Even the bears backed off, but the two fluffy emperor chicks hanging onto his tail weren't the slightest bit scared of him. "Swing me with your flippers, Unky Pooey," lisped Oochie, poking the mighty emperor in the tummy. "No, let's play skidding," insisted Coochie, folding his stout relative in half by buckling him behind the knees. Big Paulie might have been in charge of the grown-up penguins. He'd had years of practice, but taking care of two frisky toddlers was a very different kettle of fish. He cleared his throat and beckoned to Rory. "I think he wants to talk to you," said Blue. "Me?" muttered Rory.
"Yes, you!"
boomed Paulie. Rory skated over to the edge of the pool and hopped out. The boss fixed him with his beady eyes while the twin chicks pulled funny faces and poked out their tiny barbed tongues.
"Listen, Rory, I have some very urgent business to attend to."
"No, he doesn't," giggled Oochie. Big Paulie took a deep breath and continued.
"Yes, I do, and I'm already late for my meeting about stuff."
"Unky Pooey, you're telling fibs," said Coochie, smacking him hard on the bottom. "Mummy paid you 2 big fat mackerels to look after us, and you said you wasn't busy." Paulie threw his flippers in the air.
"Rory, the fact of the matter is I have to be elsewhere," he said. Then his voice broke. "And, as your boss, I'm begging you to babysit."
"But I've never looked after chicks before," said Rory, dreading the prospect and looking to Blue for backup. "He'll be rubbish at it," said Blue. Big Paulie shrugged.
"Oh, please. How hard can it be, Rory? I'm not asking for much. Simply that you swear on pain of death to keep my beloved nephew and niece safe from harm. I'm putting all my trust in you."
Before Rory could answer, Paulie shook the twins off his legs and, leaving them fooling around in the snow, waddled off, calling back over his shoulder,
"And I mustn't be disturbed until this evening."
Rory sighed. If Big Paulie said something had to be done, it had to be done. But it wasn't going to be easy looking after the chicks. In fact, they seemed determined to make it as hard as possible and kept toddling off in opposite directions. "Come back," he insisted. "I need you in one place to babysit you."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?